Okay, so I really wanted to do this video outside, but it's so noisy and windy out here. I don't know that we can. But if you haven't met me yet, I'm Blogging Brandi. This is RVersity, a university for RVers, and this is my RV. But we're here at the RV park, the KOA Journey here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you can't tell, there are tons of different kinds of RVs back here behind me. And one of the biggest questions that I get asked is which RV is right for me, because if you take one look around this RV park, you're going to see tons of different RVs. And if you've ever thought about renting or buying an RV or ever went to a dealership, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, there's tons to choose from. So if you don't want to make the same mistakes that I did, then make sure and stick around, because I'm going to be sharing a guide with you and breaking down the process for how to choose the right RV for your lifestyle and your budget. So let's head inside and let's get started. Okay, so we're here in my Thor Outlaw. If you haven't caught a tour of that, you can catch that down below this video. But this is my new RV, and I just went through the buying process, which is why I wanted to go through it with you again. And it's super bright outside, got the fan going, a lot going on in here. So I've had travel trailers, I've had vans, and done the whole van life thing. And so I figured we could sit down and have a little chit chat and talk about choosing the right RV. Okay, so when it comes to choosing an RV, you really want to understand the different types of RVs, which I've made an entire video about the different types and sizes of RVs, which you can catch below this video. But you want to understand that there are drivables and then there are towables. So a drivable RV is going to be kind of like this RV, where you can actually drive this and you can see them sitting here in the kitchen. Or you can have a towable RV, which means that you have to have a tow car, like a truck or some type of SUV, to be able to actually tow that vehicle with you. Those are something to think about if you already have a truck and you want to bring a trailer or buy something like that. You know, you always have to think about the tow ratings, but those are two different types of RVs, drivables versus towables. Now, there's different sizes of RVs within those classes. So you're going to hear RVs referred to as classes, especially like the motorhomes. Now those are your drivables. You have a class A, which is what we're in. You have a class B, which is like my spinner van. Or you have a class C, which are those typical RVs with the overhangs that you see. And then you have your towable RVs, and there are tons of them. But you have your basic travel trailers, and then you have what is called a fifth wheeler, and it's just the different types of setup it is whenever you're actually towing the vehicle or the RV that give it that designation. And then you have what is called a toy hauler, like this RV, or you can get it in a trailer. So in this RV, if you watch the video about how I tow my smart car, I actually don't have a trailer and I don't flat tow. I just pull the car in the back of this RV and take off. So it's really nice and easy. But this RV took me years to find, and then it took me 6 months after I found it to decide on the one for me. So this fits my RV lifestyle, but it may or may not fit your RV lifestyle. And another thing to keep in mind is this RV is a Class A RV, but it is much bigger than my van. And the craziest part is it actually costs the same price as my van. So if you haven't seen my van tour, you can check that out below this video as well. I had a 2018 Mercedes Sprinter van, Winnebago Era 170M, and that was just something to have for passing time, I guess. But it was just a nightmare. I was not happy in it, and it didn't work. It did work for a minute, and then I figured out it wasn't for me. So trailer life wasn't for me, van life wasn't for me, but Class A motorhome life is for me so far. You also have pop-up towables as well, and then you have other types of RVs such as like truck campers, that go on the back of truck beds. Like I said, I have a full tutorial about the different types and sizes of RVs, which you can check out below this video. Some other things to think about, not just the different types and sizes of RVs, but what are your RV goals when you're RVing? Are you going to be living in your RV? Are you just going to be using it on the weekends? Are you going to have tons of people with you? Are you going to have kids? Are you going to have pets? And then, of course, deciding on a budget. So when it comes to choosing an RV, like I mentioned, this RV actually costs the same price, which is crazy, as my Mercedes Sprinter van. But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't really understand that. I didn't understand how RV financing works, and that they finance these RVs out long term. And I have a video coming out about that, which may be out by the time you watch this, but it talks about the different, how much an RV costs and how it actually goes into the financing process, which I've done some tutorials on those as well. You can check out below this video. The financing process goes out like a house, 10, 20, 30 years. So when you're financing something that is $100,000 or $50,000 out over that long of a period of time, you're actually going to have a lower payment. So you might think of something where if you were paying over 6 years, it might be a $1,000 payment, but if you're paying it over 30 years, you might only be making like a $300 payment or a $200 payment. It just depends. Deciding on not only the RV budget as far as the cost of the RV, but thinking about things like insurance. You have to have insurance. If you're going to be just using the RV part-time and can have part-time insurance, it's going to be cheaper than if you're in the RV full-time and need it for full-time insurance. And then things like your fuel to move the RV. I just made a video about how much it actually cost me to fill up this RV. So if you're interested in that, you might want to check that one out, because it can be really costly to move this RV. It took a trip from Alabama to Las Vegas, which is where we're at now, and 1,800 miles, about $600 later, and it was 200 and something gallons of gas will get you across the country. That's on top of paying for the cost of the RV plus the insurance. Now I have to pay to move it, and then we have to pay for propane if I want to do things maybe like heat the RV and have hot water. If we're hooked up to electric like we are here at the RV park, we may not have to worry about some things as far as like the propane we might be able to use the electricity for, like the air conditioning. I wouldn't have to have my gas or propane to run, say, a generator. For my AC, I can use the RV park. I can use the RV park electricity, water, which we're hooked up to here, and the amenities. So we have cable, we have Wi-Fi, we have water, we have sewer, and we have electric. So once the water comes in, it needs to go somewhere, and you pay for those things. So at this RV park, we are renting monthly, and I actually have another a video coming out about the cost of that and how that works if you're thinking about paying for an RV, what's involved. We're paying here, I think, $700 and something a month, because we're doing month to month and just short term. But if you go out longer, you can get it cheaper. And of course, if you go out shorter, it comes out to be more. So if you do it daily or weekly, it comes out to be more than if you did it monthly or more than 1 month. Paying for the RV park, and then any other maintenance or things that you have to worry about. So if we're driving the RV, we're gonna have to change the oil or get the tires checked, maybe buy a new tire, hopefully not. There's all kinds of things that you might have to fix, like the slide might stop working or the fridge. You might have to call somebody. So those are all other costs that you have to add on top of the cost of the RV and the insurance and everything else. What else? So bringing that up about the hooking up, since we're hooked up here at the RV park to electricity and we have all the amenities that we could ever want, we don't have to boondock. But if you saw on my trip from Vegas or in a video that I made about boondocking, you might want to boondock, but that is your RV lifestyle. That is not necessarily my RV lifestyle, but some people love to boondock and they want to go and camp in wild forest in the middle of nowhere, or maybe they just are boondocking on a short trip. And when you have to do that, you want to have those resources on your RV. Boondocking means not being hooked up here at the RV park, meaning we have to have our water and our electricity and our fuel and all of those things with us to make the RV work. Or you can be what's called hooked up. Not that kind of hooking up, but hooked up at the RV park is what you would consider hooked up to these amenities. Like I said, water, sewer, trash, not trash, sewer. You do have trash here too. You're hooked up, so you're not relying on yourself. You're actually paying and using the RV park's resources. You just brought your own house with. So you're using, maybe your own shower in your RV, or you might use a shower here at the RV park. It just depends. So hooking up versus dry camping, I've made videos about that in the description below. You can check those out, or just on the channel somewhere. And then the last thing to think about are your RV amenities. So we are sitting in what is called a slide out, and I have this dinette. So did you want a dinette? Did you want a slide out? Do you want a bedroom? Do you want to be able to tow or not tow? Do you want a fridge, a full-size fridge, or do you want a full-size shower? There's tons of things to think about when it comes to your RV amenities, and they're not necessarily all inside amenities. Some are outside of it. Thinking about awnings, that is the shelter that comes out, the little awning that comes out if you're outside and you want some shade. Do you want awnings on your RV? A lot of times when you're renting RVs, I've noticed they don't have awnings, or like my RV, there's 3 awnings. So do you want one awning, 2? Do you want them manual? Do you want them electric? Do you want front living or back living? There are so many options that you can choose in an RV, and every manufacturer, every model is different. So even the color scheme might be something that you want to choose. It just depends on, like I said, the RV that you're choosing, whether you're buying it new or used, which I would always tell you to buy a used RV. This RV is used, the last ones I've had were new, and you're gonna go through a year of fixing all the kinks if you buy a new RV. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You wanna look at your RV floor plans, you wanna think about the cost, you wanna think about the amenities, you want to think about not just, your lifestyle, but your budget. So what type of lifestyle are you trying to live, and match that up with the budget that you're trying to spend, and then figure out what RV you can have from those two. And also just remember that no RV is going to be perfect. You're never going to find the perfect RV. It's kind of like having your house and your car and meshing those two, and you're constantly moving and things are changing, and you're going to make any RV your home. Okay, so now you know how to choose the right RV for your lifestyle and budget, but I know that was a lot. So make sure to click the link in the description below this video, because I've put together an amazing guide and checklist that you can check out called Which RV is Right for Me. Of course, how clever, I know, but it's gonna help you walk through the process and make it super simple, because it can be costly if you choose the wrong RV. It can stick with you for a long time. So choose the right lifestyle and choose the right RV for your lifestyle and budget. And of course, don't forget, I'm Blogging Brandi. Hit that like button down below this video. And this is RVersity, a university for RVers. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.